Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to Sm1tty Sm1t's Skyrim Enchanting Guide. Now, I am no expert to enchanting, but I've maxed it out in Skyrim, and I like dabbling, so I figured we'd go over some of the basics, we'll go over some of the intermediate stuff, maybe some expert stuff, and we'll actually talk about a few tips and tricks that you can use yourself when you want to become an enchanter. Now, first things first is enchanting isn't a skill where you can throw 1 or 2 points into it. This is an all or nothing skill tree. You're either going to level enchanting to 100, or you're not going to level enchanting at all. The reason you do that is because enchanting at level 100 will give you 2 effects that you can enchant to a weapon or a piece of armor or other type of item. So to go along with enchanting, you will probably want to have your smithing and alchemy at 100, and alchemy is the slowest one to level, so you're probably going to want to use some training sessions for that in order to get to where you want to go. Now, enchanting, leveling your enchanting is a little strange. What you'll want to do is you'll want to use some cheap clothing, you're going to want to disenchant some things, and you're going to want to recharge your items that are already enchanted, your magical items, with soul gems, and what that'll do is that will help get your enchanting up. Make sure from the onset of the game that you stock up on soul gems, even the petty soul gems, all the way up to the black soul gems. If you find them, make sure you're picking those up. Now, also, something you'll want to be doing is using potions, and that's why alchemy comes into play here, is because you can get a potion of Fortify Enchanting, and you can use any 2 of the following ingredients: blue butterfly wings, Hagraven's claw, snowberries, or Spriggan sap. And what that does is once you've got enchanting all the way to, once you've got alchemy all the way up to 100, you're going to want to make some potions with potions of Fortify Enchant, and that's going to make the enchanting that you do to certain items that much better. Now, when you want to learn a particular enchantment, you want to come to one of these. Let me go ahead and back out. I'm going to go find one of these arcane enchanter tables, and that's what they look like, a little skull inside of a pentagram, or on top of a pentagram type table. You'll go inside of it, and you'll see this disenchant. And you see these are all the magical items that I have right now. Some of them have been enchanted, some of them are things that I've found myself. But what'll happen is if it's in white, that means you don't know the enchantment yet. You'll want to disenchant something, and what you'll do is you'll learn that enchantment. Now, we're going to, there's 3 different ways you can do an enchantment. We're going to start first is we're going to look at the items. What you'll do is, and these are all the items that I have on me at the current moment. And let's go ahead. We're gonna start. Let's find a shield, and let's see here. We've got some dragon scale items. So you push A, you select your shield. Now, what's going to happen is when you go into your enchantment, which is here, it will show you everything that you can enchant to your shield. Typically, if you've got a shield, you'll probably want to put Fortify Block on there, but you can also do health, and then there's some other things down here for resistances, and that's because using a shield, obviously, you're going to be a tank, really. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to choose Fortify Block, and you'll see on the right hand side, as I push that, the initial enchantment is block 13% more damage with your shield. As I push that, my enchanting is all the way up, and the base percentage is going to be block 40% more damage with my shield. Obviously, you can see the value of the shield go up as well. Now, once that's chosen, I'm going to go ahead and choose Fortify Health. It's a pretty decent combo to have, and what happens is that anytime you have this equipped, you're going to block more damage with your shield, and your health is going to increase by 62 points. Now, at this point, we're going to choose a soul gem. Now, soul gems range from petty all the way up to all the way up to grand, and each gem will tell you what is inside of it. So you'll see with these petty souls down here at the bottom, if I was to select that, I would only block 3% more damage and increase my health by 5 points because it's a crappy soul. It might be a rabbit or you know, a snow fox, one of the small, tiny, ridiculous little creatures running around Skyrim. Now, what we'll do is we'll go all the way up here to the Grand Soul Gem, and this is filled with a Grand Soul, and that's what's going to give you the maximum amount of block percentage and health increase. Now, once that's done, if you're into enchanting and you're going to be using it a lot, what you'll want to do is you're going to want to rename it, and you're going to want to give it, you know, you can do something simple like, you know, block 40, health 62, or you could rename the item with, you know, something that is going to be unique. I mean, you know, we're talking about a role-playing fantasy game here, so if it blocks, then you know, what we can say is it's blocking more damage. So we can say it's probably a large shield, and large shield of, oh, let's see here. It's increasing health. Okay, so let's say we can do large shield of health, you know, something as simple as that. Now, as you create other items, and that's including clothing, weapons, things like that, we'll go ahead and create that, and there it is. I just created my large shield of health. Now, if I go to disenchant, we'll actually be able to see it. There it is, large shield of health. It's armor 50. It is light armor, because my character is into the light armor, and it's made with dragon scales. But you can see everything that we've just done is now enchanted to this shield. The other way you can do enchanting is you can find a particular enchantment that you want. Now, obviously, you can see I've done quite a bit of enchanting here. So let's go ahead. We're going to, let's see, let's do some magic damage, okay? And now you've got the slider, okay, underneath, and you can choose how much magic damage you want to do. If you only want to do 2 points of magic damage, you know, you can do that, or you can do more magic damage. Now, the charges is how many times you can use it before you have to refill it with a soul gem. That very same soul gem that we use to create these enchantments, you're going to use to recharge these items. So I like to have the most amount of damage possible. So we're going to go ahead and do 37 points of magic damage. Now at this point, okay, we're going to go find an item where we can enchant, you know, the magical damage, and obviously we're going to be looking at weapons. So let's go ahead and, what do you say we do the Daedric Greatsword? And I've already smithed it up to legendary status, so it does some pretty decent damage, as everyone can see here. Actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go ahead with the Daedric War Axe. I prefer to use that. Now that that is selected, okay, I have another enchantment that I can throw onto this weapon. Now, the thing about this is, you saw the charges that I put into the weapon to begin with, okay? The less damage equals more charges, the more damage is less charges. If I was to throw on frost damage or fire damage, even absorb health, if you've got two effects that are going to use charges, it's going to use double the amount of charges. However, if you've got something like Soul Trap, okay, it's going to use additional charges. However, the Soul Trap will fill a gem if whatever you're striking dies within 10 seconds of you striking it, okay? So we're going to go ahead and put Soul Trap on this Daedric War Axe. So I've got magic damage, I've got Soul Trap, and now of course I need to find a gem that I can use to start my enchanting. So we'll use another Grand Soul gem here, and we want to rename it, okay? So if it's doing magic damage and Soul Trap, how about we do Trapping Axe of, let's see, I apologize for the delay here. Trapping Axe of Magica. Maybe we can say something like that. The problem that you may run into is if you're using a lot of the same words for different effects, then you're going to get confused. Now, as I was discussing, let's see, find my magic. Trapping Axe of Magic. There it is, legendary. It does 148 damage. It looks pretty badass. It's worth $4,599, and it's going to do magic damage and fill a soul gem every time I kill a character. We'll back out. I'll show you some of the other things that I've created, and you know, that way you can get an idea of the potential of enchanting. And see, I've got my flame trap. It's got the soul trap and fire damage. Fire damage allows you to do extra damage once the target's on fire. I've got frostburn. This is the bow that I use when I am stealth, when I'm hidden, because it does fire damage, and then it does another you know, double the damage for frost damage to health and stamina. So I'm level 60 at this point, and it's probably 2 or 3 hit killing just about anything in the game from being hidden. And you know, my stealth is up there to the point now where I can stay hidden and use it. Now, the other benefit that enchanting gives you is that, let's find something that isn't armor or a weapon. What do you say we use? Yeah, we'll use a silver and sapphire circlet, and we'll find out what enchantments we can use on that. This is where you can use your fortify abilities here, okay? And I always prefer to put water breathing on anything that I'm going to be putting on my head, whether it's a helmet or a circlet or anything like that. But for this situation, I'm only going to put one enchantment, and that's going to be Fortify Alchemy. And that's because what you'll be doing is you'll be creating suits for particular situations. So we can do Alchemy Circlet. We're going to leave it simply that because everything you create and title is going to start with alchemy. That way, when you want to put everything on and start using your alchemy, it's all in one place. You can just push A in a bunch of different areas, and I'll show you exactly what I mean as soon as this game is done auto-saving. In this situation, we'll scroll down through some of my stuff here. You see I've got my smithing amulet, I've got my smithing apron, and my smithing ring, okay? And all together, my weapons and armor can be improved 75% better than it would if I wasn't wearing anything at all. This is where your alchemy comes in. If you're making potions that increase your blacksmithing for a particular amount of time, you add that with the apparel that you have, the ring, the apron, and the amulet, and that way when you use the smith tools to increase the items, you're getting better results. Now, I'm certainly not a min-maxer, meaning I don't look for the absolute best way possible to increase my weapons. Okay, I will forego an extra 5 or 6 points of damage to avoid having to level up some ridiculous things. So for some of you out there, though, you know, you'll find that these enchanted items are really the best items you can get. Now, to give you a few tips in regards to what you can do to get better at enchanting, there are 2 trainers in Skyrim. Sergius Tyrianus is in the College of Winterhold, and Hamal is in Markath. Either of them will charge a pretty penny to level you up, okay? Your weapons, you're going to look and find charged enchantments. Larger gems equal more charges, and things like that. So what happens is when you strike, it's going to use up a charge, whereas armor has constant effects. Larger gems equal bigger results. So if you've got, let's see here, here's my alchemy circlet. created potions are 25% more powerful. If I had a smaller gem, it might only be 6, 7, or 8. Okay? Again, you need to disenchant the items that have a particular enchantment in order to learn that. So, if you are a treasure hunter, like we all are in the world of Skyrim, you might not always want to sell everything that you're picking up in the dungeons. Instead, stop by one of these enchantment tables, these arcane enchanters, before you head off to sell it, and see what you can disenchant, because there are so many different enchantments out there that you're bound to find some things that you want to create yourself. And with Skyrim, allowing you to create your own character as it is, being able to customize weapons and armor is just one more layer in the ever-growing backstory that is your character. Like I said, not a lot of information in terms of my expertise in enchanting, but that should give you a general idea of what you can do, what you can't do, and what you'll want to do if you want to become an expert enchanter. Thanks for tuning in, gang. Take care.